Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to another rapid game. The game just started with the Larsen opening 1b3 and our opponent has a rating of 1600. So we play very classical chess, we play e5 and try to protect this pawn with the knight developing, and he's going for the double fianchetto. In this line I think it's very reasonable to just take the center, develop, and black should be fine. We're doing natural things and it's up to white to prove that he can fight for the center later. So, okay, let's see. d4. This looks already a bit weird to me because he is giving me the pair of bishops. Maybe if I take and he takes, then I'm very happy because I got the two bishops. If I take and he plays e3, he doesn't regain the pawn. Neither does he with anything else. So I think he needs to take, and then I have the pair of bishops. The reason why I did not take with the pawn was that he might play knight f3 and then take the pawn, and then I didn't gain the pair of bishops. So here, okay, it's clear we need to take. Probably the queen should take, and then probably I just develop my pieces. Bishop here, castling. I could start with something like c6. I could also consider c5, but I kind of like shutting down this bishop. However, I want to start with this move, setting a little trap. If he takes, we take. If he takes, he drops the queen. So he shouldn't fall for this one. But I can go c6 in one move. So I don't need to do it now. Knight c3, okay. Now it's probably time for c6. However, we can set a trap again, I think. If I castle and he takes, if he takes with the bishop, I have c6, and once the bishop moves, oh, I don't have a check because the queen is covering this. However, I think it's very risky for him to go pawn grabbing in this situation. Let's see, can we sacrifice it? Take. If the queen takes, we have enough counterplay because he needs to move the king after this, but the other question is it enough? I actually think it's quite risky for him to take it. And that's why I want to go for it. Probably in a practical, on the board game, I would play something more solid, but maybe we can prove him wrong here. A bit too greedy if he takes the pawn. Okay, now it's already the first big question, like how does he recapture? If he takes with the bishop, I also consider queen e7, threatening some skewer on the rook. Okay, but now we have this check. The king needs to go to the f line. That's for sure, because otherwise I take, and if the bishop takes, I pin it. But also there we get a huge initiative, because we will get the rook in and we will have control over the open file, and this rook is stuck. I might bring out the next bishop, and also all the other pieces are stuck. Okay, that's a clever move because he wants to close the D line. I missed this move, but how good is it actually? Can I try to open another line? Can I try to maybe say that he cannot really develop because after this I have a check and the king needs to go to g1, which is horrible. But how do I break through? Maybe I want to open the A line really. Yes, I want to start with this one. If he plays a3, then I have some time gain, and the rook doesn't have a good square. It cannot go here because I pick up a pawn immediately and then I'm fine. So should go something like b1. Yeah, okay. Now I could consider if I want to create some more weaknesses, but the question is a bit who is weaker there. So is it me or is it him? Could also consider c5 and then a4. This is actually quite interesting. If he really just continues his plan, I might play this. Okay, this I did not fear, because now his rook is really closed in, and I will just play it positionally, stabilizing this bishop here. And he cannot move anything. He cannot get my bishop out. Maybe he has this plan to get my bishop out, but then I might just reactivate it. Okay, and now let's see. If I play a4, once my rook gets in, I think it's very dangerous. So taking, and rook b7, rook a3, it clearly favors me because my rook is trying to checkmate and I'm just playing with two rooks while he has just one rook because the other one is stuck. So I think that's already a big problem for him, because if he plays this, I just take and the a-pawn will run. So I think it's already lost here. He has no counterplay. I'm pawn down, okay, but there is not really anything he can do. He's just sitting there waiting. But yes, I have good play. Also, maybe it's not that easy, because he could take with the rook. And then my bishop is hit. I could play c4, but he takes and goes there. Maybe rook takes is still serious. I might need to return the bishop then, trying to play c4 next. So, okay, knight to h4. What does he want? Maybe this is the idea. Not a bad idea, I think. I could, however, consider... Yeah, I could consider a lot of things. First, I could consider take, but he will take with the rook, as we already saw. And if I go this, then he will take. I will take. He will take somehow. It's not entirely clear. So I want to postpone this. The other ideas I have is playing this, but maybe he's still going this. Yeah, that's a bit sad. If I go this, he goes this anyway. So that's bad. But if that's his only idea, I might just also go g6 first. Because on the other wing, nothing changed. And when he cannot exchange my bishop, I think it's just very good from positional point of view. Yeah, I like this move a lot. Knight g2, okay, but he's still standing there like it would be checkmate. So now I think I'm ready to take there, and if he takes with the rook, I might even consider bishop b4 winning the a3 pawn, because he cannot take because of the back rank mate. But I also might just go back. Oh, I missed his idea, but luckily I did a capture, so he was not in time to do this. Now let's see, should I take the pawn already, or should I prevent knight to f4 first? Maybe I should prevent it first, because the pawn, is it running away? Maybe. Okay, let's see. I could also consider this move, because, no, it does not prevent anything, sorry. I like to prevent his piece play, but it's not so easy. Also, I might consider this move. And if a4, need to come up with something, but I'm preventing his piece play. Yeah, I want to do this. I think it's much harder for him to make a decision. Okay, however, what to do there? Maybe I can play c4. If the bishop takes, my rook comes in. And if the pawn takes, I take on a4. But it's not clear. Not clear at all. And I'm running out of time. So this is not so easy. I want to improve my piece. Maybe I can try to organize something against this pawn then. Okay, f3. He really wants to get the king out. Now I could again have this idea of a perpetual pin, which I like a lot. Let's sacrifice this exchange and give a check. He needs to take, and now it's so tough to ever unpin this knight. king f1 only move. And now maybe b5 even works already, because takes and rook here. Yes, I think the bishops, they really dominate. And once my rook comes to the second rank, it's over. Maybe he can try to get his rook to the second rank, but I might also go to the first rank then. So that's quite tough. I think actually his position is lost. Yeah, he cannot do a lot here. Okay, rook to here, I take. Must take. I'm threatening to go here, and if he goes there, I go there. That was an interesting exchange sacrifice. I'm really curious if it works, but my suspicion is it does. Maybe his best fighting chances to do something like this, and since we get 7 seconds per move, I think it shouldn't be a time trouble issue. So, what is he doing? I think it's time to resign. Rook c2, rook a1. Maybe he could start with this move. But maybe I just don't take the rook yet, but play rook a2 first, then threaten to take, and the knight is also loose. Maybe he could try something like rook to e1. I go there and rook here, but maybe it's the best fighting chance. So let me show you. So once he goes here, I go there, he goes there. I can of course take on e2 and then g2, but it's not that clear, and I could take on g2 first, and once the rook takes, I have a check and pick up the rook in the corner. Then I'm a whole piece up. Okay, fair enough, but that should be definitely over. Now I threaten to take this guy. And after that, the knight. Okay, g4. Let's see. Do we have something even stronger? Of course, can take it. How about rook f2? He goes there. I take this guy. Okay, it's also not something more spectacular. So let's go for this. This is easy and good. I will take with the rook. I will just trade it all down. Take. He should not go there because I win the rook. If he goes to the corner, I will go there. I will pick up this pawn and then maybe just go to the pawn ending, which is easily winning. Maybe improve the king a bit and then go to the pawn ending. He is absolutely paralyzed. He can never leave the first rank with his rook because he would be checkmated there. So he can just sit and wait, and I will maybe play something like this. And finally, when my king is maybe not go there because he could take with a check, then I would go here and it's over. So thanks for the game, and let's have a look at the analysis. How did it go? So as expected, the opening I think was fine. d4 is already a big mistake. We should take with the knight because it's just more forcing. He cannot target my pawn. In general, the principle is once you can take with a healthy pawn structure, then you should not compromise your pawn structure without a need. So this was fine. Okay, c6 is maybe easier. Okay, g6 is also very nice. Just bringing the bishop to the right diagonal immediately. Should have considered this one. Okay. c6 I should have played, yes. Okay, and still it's very good for us. But here I missed something. Okay, keeping the queens on the board because his king is weak seems reasonable. I didn't go for it. Let's see what's happening here. Rook goes somewhere. Now I have this check. And everything is much more dangerous because we have the queens on the board. If he's greedy, just bring the rook. I have so many attackers and he's just lost. He's not able to defend his back rank. Okay. So this was still fine, queen f6 still, but this was a huge mistake. Okay. I think, yeah. Maybe bishop e4 is even more critical. I just missed the whole idea that he can close the d line. I was expecting something like this and thought my compensation is really huge because I have the open file. It's not huge, but it's enough. But after bishop e4, I'm even worse, which I should not be after such a dubious opening. Yeah, I should just consolidate the pawn and enjoy the pair of bishops and all those dark square weaknesses. So this was not so clever by me. However, let's see how we got some counterplay after this. So a5 I like a lot from a practical point of view because I think this is what gave us some chances here. Okay, after c5 he has a4. I suspected this. But here we again have a lot of counterplay. But I thought in such situation, what is my plan actually? a4, b4, bishop e6, okay. Will I win the pawn finally, maybe? Knight f3, okay, bishop coming. Oops, not there. Rook is going there. Okay, bishop b2, but can I take on a3? Or is there rook a1? Probably there is rook a1, but doesn't matter, yes. I can maybe evacuate this bishop first and then take on a3. Okay, so c5 was bad, knight f3 was also bad, because now h6 really paralyzes his position. Okay, and now after a4 I'm able to open the position. I think maybe he should just still do a4 himself and it won't be so easy for me to open it up. Let's see, a4, yeah, it's okay. So this was a big mistake, a4 was good. And here I could already have taken. I was not so sure about this. Already c4, but why? I thought take. And I would just kind of checkmate him. I think that's what the computer claims. But I thought he has enough time to kind of play this and run out, but it's not true. Okay, this is really funny. He cannot organize it with f4 because I just take and he's so stuck. He cannot do anything. Okay, that's very nice. So I could have gone for this. Probably I would have gone for it if I expected that c takes b3 is the only move. So I played instead g6 and knight g2 was a good move. I took. Already here I could sacrifice. Okay, that's amazing. I did not consider it at this point. If he went this, I thought I would just have gone back. Maybe I would have gone here. Okay, and I thought my threat is something like this, but knight e3 still keeps it a bit complicated at least. So this was fine though. And here I could take. Okay, let's understand this exchange sacrifice. What's going on? This time I don't have this second bishop into the game because the pawn is still on f2, but probably he cannot get rid of it. However, I would be a bit scared. It's me to move. Okay, I take this guy. He wants to get my bishop out. But again, the bishops are just so powerful. I will give a check. If he goes this, I will have a check. I will have a check. Knight has no square basically. And forking. Okay, bishops work just very well and the rook is so passive. Okay, it's nice. Also, it's maybe important to know that once we sacrifice the exchange, we also weaken this f3 square, which might be useful later. But I think rook a3 would be quite natural. However, why was I scared here? I wanted to prevent knight f4, but computer is saying it's nothing. Well, okay. It's very good, but it's not crushing. So the exchange sacrifice is really the most clear thing here because the rook is not better than this light square bishop because it's just so active. Okay, so a4 was okay. This move I think was quite okay too. Trying to target the weak spots. Knight e3 needed to be played, but here f3 is a blunder, and this was basically a very clear exchange sacrifice. Maybe you should not even call it sacrifice because it's just some tactics and we win back the knight easily, or he can never basically stabilize his position. And from here I think it's a very clear plan, and yes, it's just lost. Okay, so thanks for watching and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.